Hello again, guys, and back with some more facts. I just previously just put a video up. I figure I'd do this one also, but this one's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to ask you guys, how would you react if a spaceship landed, where you live, of course, and you see some beings that come out and they look like this and they grab you? How would you react? What would be the first thing in your mind when you see these beings looking at you while you're laying down, mind you, right? How would you react? I know how I would react. As I already mentioned to you guys, that the first thing that I would feel would be fear. That would be the first thing because I don't know, right away I won't know what their intentions are. Obviously, it's to abduct me, but I don't know if they're going to harm me, because, of course, throughout history, we know that if they exist, which I believe they do, they are an advanced race. That means that they are far beyond our understanding, so I would say fear would be the first thing that I feel. The second thing will come to, I would say whatever they do next. Like, for instance, if they tell me to relax, I'll relax. If they try to speak to me and be kind and stuff like that, then of course I will probably be a little more comfortable, but I'll still be a little freaked out, because it's not every day, you just get abducted by something like that, far beyond us. Anyways, guys, I mean, I know there's a lot of stories of abductions, not just in America, but also around the world. And again, I'm sure that the people that really go through these experiences or have gone through them, it was a big deal to them, and then there's those that, of course, promote these false stories, and because they're trying to, gain popularity, money, and basically that's just what they're all about. They just, riding the wave just to get what they need. Me personally, I feel that, again, if I've ever had an experience of this magnitude, I would definitely be worried. you know. Will I have a story to tell? Of course. I'll be able to communicate with you guys about it. I mean, will I write a book about it? Nah. I don't think I need to write a book about it when, of course, I can use a platform like this, YouTube, and basically talk about my experience. But, of course, there will be people that will doubt. But again, if it did happen, because, of course, if they were friendly, I would be able to ask questions, and I'll be able to ask them for something that, of course, I can bring back with me so that when I tell my story, people can see that my story is real. No sketches, nothing that could be, not believed. It will have to be something that no human on earth has, so that would just break down all skeptics, period, But, of course, that never happened to me. I've never been abducted. Have I seen what I believe to be a spaceship? I would say yes, because I did see a light before. It didn't blink. It was coming towards me and my girlfriend and her brother. But we were looking at that. Was kind of weird, but after that we just ran into the house. But I mean, we don't know what it was. It could have been anything, but wasn't no plane because you see planes when they fly and they got the little blinking light. Helicopters, of course, you can hear the propellers. So it definitely wasn't a helicopter. It was just one big bright light, and it was moving. Of course, people would say, "Hey, maybe that was the planet Venus moving," and we thought it was some sort of a spaceship. You know, I mean, it's not like it moved like speeds, you know, like super speed or anything like that. It was moving, but it was moving as if it was moving towards us. You know, that's how it looked. Other than that, no. I would say that, you know, basically that's we didn't think much of it after that. There was something about um, I think this was 2012, I believe it was when that occurred. And so, I mean, we never thought about it after that, you know, because it was really nothing after that. It's not like we saw it again or anything. But anyways, I want you guys to share with me what would you do if you've seen something like this, you know, standing right there on your bed while you're laying there and you're just waking up. But not just because you're waking up, because they woke you up. You know, what would you do? Would you think somebody's just trying to prank you? Or do you think somebody's, I mean, that would be crazy, right? To wake up and you'll see like 5 or 6 faces like this. And this is something we're not used to, you know? I mean, we've heard it in stories where people constantly talking about, you know, oh, gray aliens, they got big old eyes and big heads and small slit mouths and tiny, you know, nose. But we never know, you know. There are people that say that they got photographs of these beings. I mean, but that's why I say you guys got to be careful with those that show false pictures. But they're good with computer technician stuff or photographs. You know, that's how people that's how people get the job done, and you know, other people believe. So, you know, we will believe because it looks real. And that's why I was mentioning to you guys that within the Valiant Thor story, there was the August C. Roberts, okay, that, you know, everybody forgot that the man was a professional photographer. And the very fact that he worked, okay, for Gray Barker, I'm just generalizing here, guys. I'm just making an example that there are a lot of photographers out there that they use that method of photoshopping. And it's just not in pictures, it's also in movies. Okay, so you can see things a bit different. But yeah, as I said, you know, the man, of course, was a photographer. And not only that, he knew how to fake photographs. So he was familiar with that. And that's why I kept telling you guys that, you know, he was able to manipulate a couple photographs for Frank Ernest Strangers. You know, so that his story, the Valiant Thor thing, can blow up like it did, right? And so, of course, you got the book that was brought out from a smaller book, which he created in 1960. Then he waited 7 years later to, you know, compile all the stuff he needed so that then he'd come out with a better book. And he did in 1967, which he published himself. But anyways, I'm generalizing here, guys. As you can see, we're just generalizing here about what would you do, you know, and we got to be open-minded to all this. You know, people may think that I'm not open-minded simply because I question these things. And I say, why not? I believe we have the right to question these stories. Because again, how am I wrong if I ask you a question about, can you show me proof that, you know, your alien friends are real? I mean, that's a right that I have, right? Now, I keep thinking if I was in the 50s, like, you know, back in the 1950s, I would have been able to ask all those. I'm sure I'm not the only one that asked those questions, because pretty much I think people asked those questions back then to all those guys, you know, that are no longer here with us. But again, I personally would have asked them same question. Okay, now, like George Adamski, for instance, I would have asked him, since he was the most popular of all of them. I would have asked him to show me a picture of, the guy that he was talking about. Because, of course, his Venusian, as he called him, had the blonde hair and, but Orthon, if I'm not mistaken, was his name. And he didn't show any photograph other than sketches, and that really didn't cut it. For some people, obviously, it did then, and it still does to this very day, because not everyone believed that George Adamski was lying. Just like not everyone believed that Howard Menger was lying. Not everyone believes that Frank Ernest Strangers was lying. And see, I could keep going on and on and on. A lot of people don't necessarily believe those of us who already see that there are those that lie to get ahead, or to get, basically to ride that wave. But what can we do, right? It's always going to exist in that manner, simply because that's just how life is. You're going to have the good guys and you're going to have the bad guys, and no matter what I do or say, I will continue to be known as the person who's a diehard skeptic, even though I'm not. I'm just basically asking for proof from all these individuals, whether men or women or couple, that make claims of an abduction, but not of this world. Because who knows, man? There's many things that I can think of that perhaps are happening to these people. Either they're really having these experiences, or there are those that are lying, or it's possible that, once again, it's a government experiment that they're having with certain individuals to see how they will react. Not just those individuals, but the whole city, to see how they will react to something that they don't understand. But who knows, right? We never know, man, what goes on this planet, because, of course, our governments don't basically tell us things of of that magnitude, really. Because I think the only way that we're gonna, again, if all the governments of the world decide to disclose the existence of extraterrestrials, then they'll do it. Other than that, I don't know what else to say, guys, because if they're not going to do it today, then that means they'll never do it at all. Because, again, there's the, I guess, the competition where, these people over here can have technology, those people over there can have technology, and, they don't want to share it. So everyone has their own branch of technology, and they don't want to share it. I don't know. For me, it's like, what does it matter, whether who got what? I mean, we're all in this together. We're all human beings, and if it really comes down to it, we will all have to defend each other from a hostile race that's not from this planet, right? But who knows? Maybe it's just me. Or maybe it's just people like me that just, maybe we don't know what we're talking about. But if you come to think about it, it's like, again, that's why a lot of you heard me or hear me speak of the 1950s, because the 1950s, once again, this UFO wave, UFO alien wave came, and it came very quickly. I mean, it doesn't discredit the other, of course, other stories before that, of course, of extraterrestrials on Earth, where the Mayans already knew about them, the Chinese, and other cultures of ancient times already knew of their existence. Okay? And now here we are, a few years later, technology getting a little better for us, and we're like, cool, this is nice. But at the same time, there's me, people like me, once again, that make the question. We question things because we need the proof. So if you guys like this video, give me a like. If you dislike this video, give me a hate button there. You can subscribe if you like. And I would like to thank, those of you who are open-minded. Even those that are not open-minded, I still thank you anyways, because even if you don't agree with me, I don't expect you to. I just want you guys to understand out there that I'm just an open-minded person. I'm open-minded like everyone else. Just because I don't agree with all these stories that are out there, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a diehard skeptic. That just means that I'm a person that's willing to be open-minded, but also, that to seek some evidence, so that together we can all show people that this event, that they're going through is real. That's all. That's all. That's the only thing I seek. I don't seek to write books or go to lectures or anything of that nature. My thing is, again, if we can get people to come together, and for those that are making these claims, and again, I know there's those organizations out there. Like I said, there's plenty of organizations out there that testing these people that make claims. And of course, they got my utmost respect for that. And I don't know. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. So again, you guys let me know what you would do if you see beings like this in front of your bed. Not just two of them. I mean, you see in the picture there's two, but I'm talking about what if there was like 5, 6, or 10 of them, surrounding your bed. And you happen to open your eyes and boom, they got you by surprise, I mean, that would be shocking, to see some creatures like that around. Because, of course, you're not used to seeing something like that every day, right? So anyways, guys, like I said, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the dislike button, subscribe if you like. Thank you, for subscribing. I will try my best, to continue bringing to you guys these stories. Whether they'll be true or not, I won't know until I look into them. And then, of course, I'll let you guys decide for yourselves, if you believe that, the story is true or not. But always remember, guys, that I'm just going to show you how to also go through the avenues that I went through in order to get these things, because of course people are like thinking I'm some government agent or something like that, and they, I don't want people thinking, well, how is it that this person is able to get this? You can't say that that's not possible, okay? Because you got Freedom of Information Act, you got other avenues where you can get, and looking stuff like this. Like I was mentioning to you guys before about newspapers.com, you can go way back to the 1700s to this present day. So let's say, for instance, if you was looking up George Adamski, well, all you have to do is go to the newspapers.com. I think there's a 7-day trial, right? And I mean, it's up to you if you decide or not to continue the subscription. And then from there, you can look up newspapers with George Adamski, or Howard Menger, or Frank Ernest Strangers, or Gray Barker. Or it doesn't matter. Any of those people from the UFO field, you will find them in those newspapers. So a lot of these people, they forget that we, those of us that really want to look into certain things, they forget that we can actually check these newspapers that go way back. And I have to say thank you for the internet, because if it wasn't for the internet, we wouldn't be able to find these old newspapers. So these that website constantly put up newspaper. So if you don't find a newspaper that you're looking for, they'll eventually put it up, because that's what they do. Again, these are all separate companies of their newspapers, and they're just putting it up. And there you have it. We'll be able to find whatever you need. So it's not that hard to come up with a bunch of stuff on the internet. Well, anyways, guys, I know I probably took a lot of your time, and I apologize for that. I just figured I'd make this extra video because I figured, why not just ask you guys, what would you do if, something like this happened to you? So, I mean, and I'll be coming back with another story soon. Maybe sooner than you guys think. I just gotta really look up, a couple. It's just because, like I said, I know a couple. Like, let's say the Travis Walton. I was gonna talk about that too, but I mean, guys, it just, I don't know. It's just because the way things happen on certain stories, and again, people can beat lie detector tests, and there's many scenarios, guys. Just many scenarios. I wish we really, really, really could meet people that can show us some solid evidence that, beyond reasonable doubt, that we can be like, oh my, like, wow, across the board, where we cannot dispute not one time with these people about their solid evidence. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I think it would. But again, people writing their books is not going to make me, be interested more in alien abductions. I'm not going to be looking for books, because that's not why I decided to look into these things myself for. I'm just looking for proof. That's all I'm looking for. So, guys, I'm going to close this video, and I'll see you soon, guys. Peace.